Hey everybody, I just wanted to point out a few awesome places you can go in Korea to pick up some import games. The first one you want to check out is Yongsan, the electronic market. This place is located in Seoul at the train stop is actually called Yongsan, and there is so many electronics there: digital cameras, computers, video games, MP3 players, everything you can imagine. So if you have a chance to visit Korea, I really recommend this place. You will actually land, or not land, but you will arrive in a place called the iPark Mall when you get out of the train station. So it's basically a giant tower of electronics. Each floor is dedicated to a specific type of electronics, cell phone, gaming, etc. Except for randomly, I think on like the eighth floor there's a wedding reception hall. I don't understand why it's there. And on the 10th floor, they actually film an esports show for I believe StarCraft and League of Legends and some other really popular PC games in South Korea. So if you get a chance, check out the iPark Mall. But if you're a retro gamer, I really have to recommend that you go to the actual gaming mall, which is a little difficult to find. In another episode, I'm actually hoping to point out these areas to you. But basically, you come out of the train station, and you will walk. There's an underpass. You will walk under the underpass and keep walking straight, and you'll see a giant billboard that has a PS Vita on it, and it says something about the PlayStation. I think it's in English, so it's not too hard to find. And actually, as soon as you come out of the train station, it's about maybe a 10-minute walk. So I think it's not very difficult to find if you just see the overpass I'm talking about and walk through it. But next time I make a video about these areas, I'll try to actually make some footage of the locations. So the next place that's really nice to travel to is called the Kukje. I think that's pronunciation is Kukje. Kukje Electronics Mall, and it's at Nambu Bus Terminal. And this is another area that's near Gangnam, which if you know anything about pop culture right now, Gangnam Style is a big popular song. But that's kind of the ritzy Beverly Hills area of Korea. But outside of that area is Nambu Bus Terminal, and you'll find a little electronics tower that sells similar items to Yongsan. But this area, they have a little more, I would say, a little more friendly staff. The people are really nice. I encountered there compared to some of the people in Yongsan who seem a little more accustomed to maybe raising prices for foreigners. So I would recommend Kukje before I would recommend Yongsan. But both are great places. Yongsan actually has a bigger selection. So I'll show you a few things I picked up. Actually, just for this episode, I'll show you some PSOne games I picked up that were really nice finds because actually I'd never heard of a few of them. They're really obscure and weird games. So the first game I'm going to show you is one you may have heard of. It's a Bimani series game from Konami called Guitar Freaks. So Guitar Freaks, this series has been around since the late 90s. Actually, the game uses a guitar similar to what you've seen with Guitar Hero, but I actually do not have this guitar. So I believe it's compatible with the Guitar Hero or Rock Band guitar controller, but I don't have one here now to test it, but I'm pretty certain it is. The music selection for this game is honestly not very exciting. It's just kind of a mix of random rock music that is not licensed. I think it was performed. I think the music was performed just for this game. So there's a few cool songs, but I think it's honestly a little boring compared to games like Guitar Hero or Rock Band, or even the later guitar the guitar freaks games that are on PS2. I've seen videos and they have really amazing selections. So this game, if you're a collector, may be interesting to you, but otherwise, I would, not, try really hard to track this game down. The videos are very bizarre looking. There's no anime style, cool videos here. It's just weird 3D cutouts of faces doing bizarre animations, and honestly, I'm not even going to show a video of this game because I don't think it's worth showing. So if you are interested in PSOne games and you're a collector, maybe you want to track this game down. Otherwise, I would kind of steer clear. The next game is, the English translation is Power Instinct 2, and this game is based off of a famous Atlas fighting game series of Power Instinct, and this is the Japanese sequel, which never came to the U.S. I can't exactly remember the Japanese title. It's like Gocheksu Ichasuku. I screwed that up really badly. But anyway, there is a famous series of fighting games produced from Atlas, which is Power Instinct, this Power Instinct 2, Power Instinct's Legends, and Groove on Fight for the Sega Saturn. And you have Metro Melee, which was originally for the Neo Geo, but later there was an update ported to the PS2. And these days there's Power Instinct 5, which I don't believe has a home console port, and I honestly don't know why, because it looks really cool. But anyway, this is from the second game, which has a lot of the updates from the arcade version of Legends, and it has nice artwork from famous Japanese artist Range Murata, and you can see some of his artwork here. And also on back we have little dirty artwork here of one of the female characters. But anyway, the gameplay is kind of a mix of more of a Street Fighter 2D combo heavy system with a little goofy antics thrown in just to make it kind of wacky. I think the game is very fun in short bursts. It's not really a competitive fighting game, but some of the characters are wacky, and they make you feel like this is something uniquely Japanese compared to very Western style fighting games like Mortal Kombat, or even more modern games like Street Fighter, where they've kind of made a lot of characters more normal. In this game, you have like a man dressed in a dog suit fighting, and a magical girl who turns into a hot chick wearing a thong for some reason. There's an old lady that can change into a young lady, and a lot of bizarre characters. And the combos are really easy to do. The graphics are not fantastic. Honestly, they look like they could have possibly been done on the Super Nintendo. Just animation wise, there is a few things that are unique, such as you'll see in the backgrounds, you'll have characters playing music, live music tracks, and so a lot of traditional Japanese music is being played, or pop songs. So that's actually one of the coolest features of the game. You see characters playing music as you fight in the background. So this tradition was continued, I think, in Metro Melee, but you have to play the Japanese version of Metro Melee to have this feature. This type of music was changed in the American version. So if you played Metro Melee, play the Japanese version, because it has the actual original live tracks on it, which are a lot more entertaining and unique. Groove on Fight, I don't think it had this music system, the Saturn version, but I could be wrong. I haven't played that game for very long. But if you have a chance, pick up Power Instinct. It's actually on the PSN store in Japan for 600 yen, and I picked up this hard copy for like roughly $10, so it was fairly cheap. nice fighting game for people who are interested in stranger, more unique titles. So I would recommend Power Instinct to anyone that really has an interest in more obscure fighting games. So next game, Night Striker. Night Striker is a scaling sprite style action arcade game. It reminds me of something like Space Harrier or maybe Galaxy Force 2. Both of these are famous scaling sprite games from Sega during their early arcade years. So this game has that same style, but it's from Taito. And the port for the PS1 version is handled by a company. They are called Bing, and Bing is known for also porting Elevator Action Returns to the Sega Saturn, which is a fantastic port. It's actually, I think, better than the port that was emulated on the Taito Memories Collection released for PS2. But Night Striker actually does not have a release on any of the Taito Collection games, so your only way to play this game is to import the Sega Saturn version, which has extra levels compared to the PlayStation 1 version. But you can also import the PlayStation 1 version, which I got for $3 because the vendor, I told him the case is cracked. Can I get a deal? And the guy was very nice and accommodated me, so I got it for $3. And the music is nice. It's from Zuntata, the in-house band for Taito. They're famous for the music for the Darius series. So you have a lot of great tracks. The game is very easy to beat. It's not something you're going to play for long sittings. It's an arcade game. You can beat it maybe in 10 minutes if you try. On 1 credit if you become skilled enough. There are a lot of different paths, but they're very similar. Honestly, it doesn't have the lasting appeal of Space Harrier or even Galaxy Force 2, but it's a nice game, and it reminds me of something from Sega, and it's kind of strange that it was made by Taito. So, if you can find this game for really cheap, I would recommend it. There's also a Mega CD version that does not hold up as well as the Saturn and PlayStation versions. So if you have a chance, you should pick up either the PlayStation version or the Saturn version. But remember, the Saturn version has extra levels on it, and that would probably be the preferred version. But if you can get any of them for cheap, I would suggest it.